You know, if it were reversed, what would I want you to do? What do you think? I think it takes two people to hurt you, I said.
Right, I was just doing a little bit of a play. Introduction to the Decca 55 Grand Table Radio. It's 23 inches long. I don't know how high, it must be nearly 17 inches high, maybe 15. This is a massive beast. It came from Mr. eBay. I think I paid 60 quid for it. I've recapped it, put a new dial bulb in it, put a couple of different valves. That little crackling noise is long wave. There's a lot of noise in the mains in this place. Every radio I got crackles, even on the FM here, and it's to do with something in the area, not to do with the radio. I got 4 vintage radios and they all do exactly the same, so can't be that. Well, now what I've done with it, the case has got quite a few marks on it. Doesn't show up in here because it's dark in this room, but eventually I'll refinish the case if I feel that I should. I don't know whether I do. It's got a main speaker. It's also got a tweeter, a tuning indicator, as you can see, and that's fairly bright and works okay. And what I had to do is recap it, and I'm just gonna put this bag out on the table and show you. On the corner there's about 17, 18 capacitors in there. Some of them are Hunts, some of them are these wax paper things by TCC, and I changed them all. I found out the main smoother was actually okay. It wasn't bulging, it wasn't leaking, but what I did is I put an extra 10 across each one to give better smoothing, and there were 2 other 8 microfarads in there that were just point to point, which I replaced with 2 10s. So it works very well. FM's very difficult because FM's quite difficult because of the it's a low signal area here. You can hear FM. You can hear the sort of hiss of FM. It's very, very hissy because it's not a good signal area here.
Philosophy in a nutshell. To go off onto the unbeaten track.
So I'm assuming you know where we are right now. Like, we can get back.
I think we can get back, yeah. You can never be 100% sure.
Yeah, most stations have got like hiss in the background. I'm in Shepton Mallet, which is basically in the dip in the middle of the countryside.
So as long as we can get back.
And that's the built-in aerial.
It is getting a little bit dark, isn't it?
So it is quite noisy. I've put a nearly new ECC 85 in there and it's still the same. It's not an original Mullard one, which I've bought. I bought an original Mullard one, nice and clear, no burns, so I'll try that and see if it's any better. And this radio has got the date on the main smoother of 1957, so I'd imagine it's probably made there or shortly after. And you can hear there's a little snicking and crackling noise even on FM, and it seems to be the same on most radios here, with them all, that I've got that ruffling noise. I thought it was a fault with one of the radios I got. Well, actually it's not, it's on them all. And it's either something coming from the mains or it's to do with the telephone exchange less than 100 yards from me. In fact, it's less than 50 yards from me. That there might be something guffing out of there that's causing the noise. In fact, it's completely destroyed what's going on in my amateur radio, because the continuous noise guffing out of there has completely knocked all my stuff out. Some nights bloody 30, 40 plus, so I've had to give up that. So, and it even interferes with my normal radios as well. So it's not much fun living next to a telephone exchange, all this Wi-Fi stuff guffing all this crap out all night. I'm not sure what'll happen with that 5G. It'll probably be even bloody worse with that. Who knows? But anyway, that's a small introduction. What I'm going to do over the next coming couple of weeks, days maybe, is I'm going to open the back and show you around inside. I'll take off the bottom panel when I put another cap in there and show you what I've done in there. And the knobs were scrupulously cleaned in the sink. All the dirt came out of the niches, and a lot of people scrub them with wire brushes. They do it with suede brushes. You don't need to. Just put some hot water in a bowl, plenty of washing up liquid, and leave it for about half an hour. And all you do is use a toothbrush. I'll tell you what, they come up like new when you haven't got any risk of damage in them or anything. Or if people put them in white spirit and all that, you don't need to do any of that. Washing up liquid in a toothbrush and wait half an hour and make the water nice and hot, and they'll come clean, they'll come like new. And that's what I've done. I cleaned the glass, cleaned the valves up, put in new caps, and it seems to be working. So there we are. We'll just have a final burst. You see, it's a bit distorted due to the fizz. As you can hear. Now you don't get full quietening down here on anything, even long wave. It's just very, very low down here. I'm going to try and build a preamp for FM on it, but it's trying to find out what I can actually do with it. Some nights it's better than others. I've had things quite clear on here. Believe that's. See, it's very poor reception here. Somebody told me they think they've actually cut the power down of FM, because one of my friends was saying it's actually got weaker over the last few years, and I said maybe they have, I don't know. They're obsessed with this digital stuff, but in a poor signal area, digital does not work. It doesn't work at all. With this, you can pick up a station even if it's weak. You try that on digital, it sounds like you've got a bloody train going through your house, because it's just, it makes just a rumbling or a jumping noise. I think it's just a wheeze to sell people new radios. They say there's all these more stations, but it's the same music, just keep playing on a loop. It's the same with digital television. I've got a digital new TV. And it's just the same crap I was watching in the 70s and 80s, which I didn't like then. So it wasn't even particularly good at the time. So anyway, that's a little introduction to the Decca 66, made in 1957. That's at 1957. And I'll be doing a little bit on this over the next few weeks. I've even restrung both dial cords. Both dial cords were gone. I redid it with new dial cord. I'll tell you what, it took me several hours, because the diagram I had I could not understand. It wasn't very clear. And then I cut an inch too short, so I had to muck around with it to try to get it to work. So I mean, I did in the end. So one of them, I probably had to restring one of them later on. But it's running, and I'm a great believer if something's run, it's probably just leave it alone. I'll buy some more cord if it goes again. Now I know how it's done because I've done it myself, and the FM one will be fine. Anyway, RC73s, that's in amateur radio. That means goodbye. And I hope to catch you again. Goodbye.